Hey everybody, I'm Vera Stewart and welcome to the VeryVera show. I'm so excited. I've been waiting for this day. We've got brand new Sub-Zero Wolf appliances in our kitchen and I'm so pleased to have Chef Vinnie Balducci with me today to celebrate this and tell us a little bit about your position with Sub-Zero Wolf.
Well, I'm the corporate chef of Sub-Zero Wolf Southeast Division, and what we do is we educate consumers and dealers and builders and architects and just what exactly our appliances can do and what makes us so luxurious and how we can stand behind our product as long as we do with the American-made product in which all of our Sub-Zero Wolf is manufactured. So I appreciate being in here. We're gonna have a lot of fun cooking this stuff.
Well, what all are we going to be preparing today?
Well, today we have a savory rub Boston butt, and we're gonna slow roast this in our new convection steam oven. We're going to pair that up with a baby spinach with a warm bacon and mustard vinaigrette. And I know you have something up your sleeve.
I can't wait. I'm going to be working in a brand new M-Series.
That's right.
It's a double convection
oven
with one of my pound cake recipes. So obviously you can see I need to be educated all I can on this. So we're going to get started on the Boston butt. And I went to Fresh Market and the butcher is always so nice to help me with cutting anything that I need. So I hope that looks good to you.
Absolutely. This is beautiful, and I know that the Fresh Market is known for sourcing their meats from particular parts of the country, and this is a beautiful piece right here.
Yeah, Midwestern pork is just fantastic. All right, so you're going to be working on.
I'm going to cut the pork into smaller pieces. So when we convection steam roast it, the steam in conjunction with the convection heat is going to slowly break down the tendons and anything hard to really soften this up and give that nice end result that we're also used to when it comes to barbecue pork. And you're going to make my dry rub, I see.
I know, and I mean, look at all of these ingredients. I cannot wait. We've got paprika, and it's just colorful, delicious. Brown sugar. We've got kosher salt, garlic powder. I mean, for all you people out there that whether you're cooking in a steam oven or a grill, you're going to want this. Fresh ground pepper. We've got chili powder, red pepper, onion powder, chipotle chili pepper. Isn't that beautiful? Cumin and dry mustard. I almost don't want to mess it up. That looks like a painting.
That is beautiful.
This is everything but the kitchen sink dry rub. We did that with the dessert last week. Okay, so this just gets mixed up. And you did those in about 2-inch.
Yeah, we did this, between 2 and 4-inch cuts. Nothing fancy. I mean, we just want to cut them into smaller pieces so we reduce our cooking time when we're going low and slow with this oven, and that's the beauty about one of these modes. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the pan. We're going to rub these spices on them with a little bit of stock, set that convection steam over it, and just watch it go.
Okay, and when we come back from the break, you're not going to believe how we're going to cook bacon on this brand new induction stovetop. So come back with us in just a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody, and if you're just joining me, I'm with Chef Vinnie Balducci with Sub-Zero Wolf, and I am loving these appliances and being with you today. It's just so much fun, and we were kind of busy during the break. What were we working on?
We certainly were. We went ahead and finished up seasoning the pork, and we put it in a pan, and we put it in our convection steam oven. But first, we had to prepare the steam oven.
Right, that's interesting.
Absolutely. So we have an external water reservoir. So it means it's not plumbed, and that's a good thing, especially if you have a leak back behind your oven. You don't want to.
Right.
So all we do is we take the plastic water reservoir out, go to the sink, fill it up with tap water. It provides about 90 minutes of constant steam. That's a lot of steam.
Right.
So when working in conjunction with a convection dry mode, it's about 50-50. So that will certainly last a long time. So we went ahead and we set our mode for convection steam after we put the pork in. We set the timer, we set the temperature down to about 275 degrees, and what that's going to do is cook the meat low and slow, combination of convection dry heat and a combination of steam. So this is the process that's going to break down the meats and make everything just tender and juicy. And we add a little bit of stock to the bottom, which in conjunction with those drippings that fall during the cooking process is just going to be just another added layer of of flavor when we do finally pull that apart. So.
Well, it's going to be a contest as to which one of these appliances I'm going to be in love with the most, because obviously I'm loving that. But this is so awesome, this induction cooktop. And when I went to Charlotte, met Vinnie for the first time, and he's such a great educator and demonstrator in terms of audiences and individuals that purchase these appliances. But he had a pan cooking bacon with a towel on it. Well, I thought, well, we're getting ready to call the fire department. He forgot to take the towel off. And literally, it is how you cook. So you take the towels off, and you just throw those right in your hamper, and the top of the stove is clean.
Easy peasy, yeah.
I mean, honestly. So tell us a little bit about that induction part while we get started on this salad dressing.
Well, induction is, been used more and more, in the residential, state for a long, long time. It uses magnets to actually heat up a multi-clad type of pot or pan. So what that does is that it allows it to heat up the pan instantaneously, 30 to 40% faster than gas or electric. And the versatility is that it heats up extremely fast, and it, cooks very smart.
Right.
So it saves you time, and it just, it just has so many uses. And what we did is we just started browning up some bacon for this, our baby spinach salad, our warm bacon and mustard dressing. So.
And then I've mixed up honey, white balsamic vinegar, and a little bit of mustard, gray mustard, to go in that. And you're going to add some shallots and garlic and a little bit of olive oil to that dressing. And while that's cooking, I'm going to move down to the mixer. Get behind you just a second. And I'm going to get started on the apple cake. And like I said, I'm going to have a hard time determining which one of these appliances I love the most, because the cake is just going to be fantastic in this double convection M series that actually puts together the best internal opportunity for a pound cake.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm a snob, Vinnie, when it comes
and you
to
well
a
deserved,
pound
I may
cake,
add. Yes, absolutely.
because I love to, talk about the fact for 30 years I had a company that, did nothing but pound cakes and layer cakes. So the perfect pound cake literally is supposed to have a crown on the top of it. And this cake turned out absolutely fantastic. So what I'm doing here is apple season. We're doing an apple pound cake. I'm blending together brown sugar and granulated sugar. I've added some vegetable oil. I'm going to add a little bit of vanilla. If I can ask you to walk down here with me, I'm going to get you to start mixing the dry ingredients while I combine the eggs. So what have we got over here, dry ingredient
Over here we have some flour, and we have some cardamom. We have some coriander, some salt, some pumpkin spice. We have some baking powder, some baking sodas, and we're going to put all that stuff together. And it smells really good. It's a whole different type of smell on this end.
I know it.
Than
So
it is over there on
this
that
is
end.
interesting. So this is going to get blended. He's going to wire whisk the dry ingredients together because it incorporates everything. And these two seasonings that maybe were not familiar to some of you is what makes this cake so delicious. So we'll keep working a little bit. You don't get breaks around here on the VeryVera Show. We have to work during the break. So come back with us in just a few minutes, because we're going to get this cake in the oven, and there's a secret filling on the inside. So come back with us in just a few minutes.
Vera's Corner is brought to you by Georgia Bank and Trust and Southern Bank and Trust.
Hey everybody, it's apple season, and I'm going to share with you some quick tips on cooking with apples and which ones are best for which dishes. Red Delicious, heart-shaped, usually bright red but sometimes striped. This apple is slightly sweet, which makes it best in a salad. Gala, light red color, juicy and sweet. Best for eating raw in salads and baking in pies, or for making applesauce. Fuji, crisp and dense with a sugary sweet flavor, best for eating raw as a snack. Honey Crisp, sweet, juicy, and obviously crisp. Excellent for baking, eating raw, and for making sauces. Granny Smith, bright green in color and very tart and crisp. Best for baking and desserts, and lots of people love it raw. Welcome back, everybody. And Vinnie, it's time to get this cake in the
Let's
oven.
do it.
I'm
I
ready
cannot
to
wait.
go. So in Vera's Corner, remember we talked about which apples are best for baking, and certainly for a pound cake like this, Honey Crisp is the one that I recommend, and they're so in season, and actually that's my favorite one to eat raw too. So what I've done is just grated that on a hand grater. This is where that old-fashioned hand grater comes in handy, and I'm just gonna mix this into the batter that we finished while we were away on the break. Then I've prepared my Bundt pan with just a little bit of Baker's Joy, that's the flour and oil mixture, you know, for the pan. And I'm gonna put half of this batter in the pan, and then I'm going to put a center of a cream cheese filling so that when you cut it. So that is 8 ounces of cream cheese, sugar, flour, an egg, and a little bit of vanilla that is gonna be the surprise center to this delicious cake. So in the meantime, I'm going to ask you if you will get started on the caramel icing that goes on hot on this delicious apple cake.
With pleasure.
All right, so what? We've got some butter.
Yeah, right now I'm just melting down some butter with a little bit of heavy cream and some brown sugar. And that's going to be the base of this glaze. And then we're going to throw a few curveballs in there and just really kick it up when the cake is complete.
Okay, well, now what I have got to say is that, needless to say, I was a little bit nervous when we tested these appliances yesterday, making this cake for the very first time in my brand new double convection M series, and this is brand new for the company. Now, I'm telling you that when you cook a pound cake, you're looking for one thing and one thing only, and that's a crown. And you can well imagine that I love a crown. Well, at VeryVera, 1 out of every 15 cakes might have had a crown on it.
Wow.
Do you see the crown on that cake? I was flipping my lid watching this in that oven yesterday because I could tell that the center of that cake was coming up into the crown. Now I'm dolloping this cream cheese filling in the center here. But my point is there's so much chemistry involved, but part of the chemistry is certainly reflected in the elements to that oven. So this double convection feature to this oven is allowing the airflow to pull that batter from the center. And if you are a baker, and you know, if there was one appliance that you really, you know, have 10 yard sales and get you one of these ovens, it is the perfect way for baked goods. The other characteristic that is important in pound cakes is that crispy crust on the outside. And a lot of times you'll think you've baked the most beautiful pound cake, and then all of the edge comes off when you flip it out of the pan. Look at that cake. I mean, it could not be more spectacular.
Well, you know what, Vera, this is one of the pleasures of my job is, you know, I see this stuff every day, and I hear it every day, and I experience it every day, but it never gets old hearing it, especially from someone like you, so we appreciate that.
Well, and I truly mean it, and everybody that was with me yesterday as I was losing my mind as that crown was coming up on that cake, you know, as we partnered together on this journey now, certainly I want to represent, you know, your appliances to the best of my ability, and to be able to describe the final product here to that extreme makes me extremely excited. Okay, so this is going to go in the oven for about 50 minutes, and we're going to get, and I'm going to knock it on the table. That icing will be all ready to go on top of it. So when we come back from the break, we are going to have the most spectacular meal in front of you. A pulled pork sandwich a delicious baby spinach salad with a
Absolutely.
hot bacon
Yes,
dressing.
yes, looking forward to
An
it.
apple pound cake that has a cream cheese filling with a hot caramel icing
right.
with pistachios all over it.
Yeah.
And 2 appetites, because we've worked up quite an appetite
Absolutely.
today. So come back with us in just a few minutes and we're going to put this spread on the table. Welcome back, everybody. Oh, I'm so excited about the way everything's turned out and how I didn't mess up on my first day with my new appliances. I'm so excited. So, Vinnie, you got the cake in the oven for me, and tell us a little bit quickly about that feature.
It's very easy with our M series oven. We have, Wolf Gourmet, which is a bunch of modes created by chefs and engineers that specifically bakes to a certain degree in certain oven modes. To make a perfect cake, as we see
And
here.
it absolutely made the perfect
right,
cake.
and it doesn't stop at cakes. There's all sorts of, different types of meats and vegetables and seafoods, but it definitely doesn't do too bad of a job on the
Well,
cake
and you
side.
did such a great job on this icing, and you know why it's all nice and creamy like this? Because it was on the keep warm setting on this new cooktop that I have. So now I can just take this icing, woo,
Yeah, that's nice.
and just go crazy with it all over the top of this Bundt cake. And then once it hits the cake that's come to room temperature, it's gonna kind of start to set up a little bit. I know you're gonna wanna lick that pan, so I'm gonna kind of put that to one
Thank you very
side
much,
over here.
absolutely.
All right, then I've got some freshly chopped pistachios, the nut that people forget to use, but I thought it would match the cake plate.
Well, let's
so
go
I'm
ahead and
gonna hit that.
Let's not
and
be
then
shy.
another one of my favorite things is the freezer drawer. How many people love magic shell? Have you ever thought about using magic shell as a garnish? So now this is nice and hard and it'll start getting right. And I've got a piece sliced there that you can just lift out and put right there on the cake. The spinach salad, we've got some yummy things to go into that. We've got some Swiss cheese. And remember that the dressing on here is hot. So you might think that's a lot of spinach for this, but it's kind of gonna wilt down a little bit. Got some hard cooked eggs, fresh mushrooms, and my favorite, almonds. I love to put
Absolutely.
nuts in salad. Oh, look at that, Vinnie.
few
That
more.
turned out great. A
Maybe
little
just a
bit
few
more. Okay, so we've got that, and now we've also had the salad dressing simmering. So I'm going to get you to put that, and I'll start tossing this. And that's another nice feature is this dressing needs to be hot when you put it on the salad. So I'm going to let you pour a little bit of that on top of here.
Well, I'm going to take it out of the spoon so I don't
Yeah.
accidentally burn you.
Yeah, don't you get my sweater dirty. Oh, we're going to toss that up. And then the pork just cooked low and slow, like you said.
Absolutely.
And you've got that all ready to go down there. We'll toss this up. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. And then I always love to keep a moist paper towel on top of the bread, even though you're putting something hot on it.
Absolutely.
You've kind of just pulled that apart with the knife.
Yeah, look
And then
at
we're
this.
gonna build that up. So I'm gonna get just a little bit, because this is gonna be a 1-plate meal. I'm gonna put just a little bit of that on the dinner plate. And if you got some that we can go
I
ahead
do.
and
Yeah, absolutely.
pile up on top of this bun. Oh man. So this is,
Who's got first dibs on the first plate?
I'm telling you. Well, as you can see, I've had quite a great time today with not
Absolutely.
only my special guest, but with my new appliances that are just going to make cooking that much more enjoyable for me, things that I'm going to enjoy educating you with along the way. And Vinnie, come over, I always say on the VeryVera show that no matter what you do it in good taste.
That's right.
And I'm going to want you to dive into that. And I want to, again, thank my friends at Sub-Zero Wolf, you being #1 with me right now, for the opportunity to have all of these fabulous appliances in my kitchen. I want to invite each of you to come back and join me every week as we do the VeryVera show, because as you can see, we're trying to develop new and different things. If you don't have time to make this cake, pick one up at the fresh market. No matter what you do it in good taste, and come back and join me again next week for the VeryVera show.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vinnie.